next mod is the custom dynamic lights. After doing some research and looking at other people's bike, I figured these would be my best option because they give you a lot more sequence, a lot more flashing options and things to look for. With the I did some research on karaoke, where the karaoke also has the flash. Kind of gives you a better a look, I would like to say. It's kind of a classy look as opposed to these custom dynamics. However, I like to keep all my components the same, so I didn't want to venture away from that and go with karaoke and then have something with the flashing option from a different. I figure everything, if they build it that way, then it should work best like that. So I figure I get these custom dynamics. I've been in the Harley Davidson shop and seen the lights, and after a while, saving up and doing things I want to do, I figure, hey, this will be my next option. So this is what I got. The reason why I'm doing this video is necessarily to show you how the sequences are. There aren't many that I've seen. Maybe there are so many videos on YouTube where you can see the sequences. So I mostly want to go through the sequences and show you the things that I've gone through to get the lights after asking questions and things of that nature. With these, the costs range from these. This is just about everything you'll need for the setup of these lights. And some things I left out because money's kind of tight. So I figure, hey, I can ration out some of the things that I've. All right, next up, we gotta take off the seat, and then we'll go from there. So give me a little time. Go around. Obviously, we gotta take the screw off. Take the screw off. And take the seat up. Take the seat up. Once you take the seat off, this is what it looks like. And your brake controls are right here. What I just learned today is taking this apart. I've already installed it, but I'm just thinking about it. But obviously there's a little button here. Press the button and you pull it apart. And then, since I got a 2012, there's a little latch on the back side that keeps it. So if you slide it in the latch, then it'll stay stationary right here. But fortunately, I've done it, so I've disconnected from that portion, and now it's fairly loose. So that's what we got. I want to show you another component. With these, with the triple play, I was fidgeting around and figured this out on my own. You can use the triple play with just the stock lights. I thought maybe it would be harmful or whatever the case may be, but it'll actually work with just the triple play. So if you're one of those people just like me trying to puzzle things until you get some funds in, then that's something that you could do if you wanted to. That's up to you. I'm just giving you some options. And I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, now that I have the triple play, and like I said before, here's a triple play. I'll plug it in, and then I'll give you some explanation, or better yet, I'll show you that it'll work without the LED lights. Just like that. Now we've got the triple play. And I'm going to show you guys that you can install the triple play and the lights will still work without even having the LED. So obviously, plug in either end. Plug in the end that fits. I'm not going to give you a specific one. And then I plug this one in to the other one. Alright, and then like the direction says, you can look on the Custom Dynamics site and show this as well. But the off position for these two is straight back. It's towards this edge. So obviously you turn the bike on. And then you do them individually. So I start with the one next to the yellow. So go on, off, on, off, on. And then the lights do like this little flashing thing. and then that lets you know it's ready for it to dial in to see if you want to make the lights at the same brightness. Then with this one, when you go up with the dial, it brightens the light as well as it dims the light. So depending upon which way you're turning, it dims and brightens. You'll need someone standing in the back to determine if the lights are somewhat to your liking, if they're even across. So it should be the same brightness all the way across. And then once you have it set to where you think the brightness is going to go, then you look at the brake, then turn your camera towards the brake lever, then you press the brake, and then it'll give you a couple flashes telling you that it's been confirmed. And once it's been confirmed, then you start dialing in what settings you want as to, you know, what flash sequence that you like. Now this is step 1. Where it pauses a couple times, it flashes a couple times, 4 times, it stops, and it continuously does that. And it never does stop flashing. This is step 2. And it flashes a couple times, and then it holds steady. This is step 3. And you can see with that one, even though it's continuous, it continues to flash a little faster sequence. However, it stops periodically, and then it continues flashing. This is step 4. And with that one, it flashes kind of strobe light, and then it just holds with a steady light. This is step 5.
Yes.
Well, it flashes twice, and then it continues. It'll pause for a couple, then it strobes a little, pause, strobe, and it's continuous. So it continues to do that. Here's number 6, which is a fast strobe, and then it illuminates to a steady. And as you can see, it just stays illuminated. It doesn't continue strobing for you on that one.
Almost done.
This is 7. And it's just a continuous strobe. Has a slight pause in there, but to each his own. Whatever you want it to set, that's what you can get. This is number 8, which to me looks fairly solid with that slight flash in it. And I'm continuing to hold the brake, and it doesn't continue on. So it does that strobe effect, and then it goes steady illuminating. This is number 9. Where it's doing that steady strobe light, very quick strobe light. And I'm still holding the brake, and I still haven't seen the steady pause. So I imagine it flashes the whole time while you're sitting there to the brake, sitting there to the light, and you have the brake pressed in. And lastly, this has to be number 10. Which is a slower flash. and then it goes to a solid. So there you go. In just a moment, you'll see with the LED lights in it, how it you can tell with the LED lights, it's a shorter stroke in the light. And these are normal, regular lights, but you can tell the difference in the strobing and the LED lights. And I'll show you that in just a moment. And just remember, this is just with the triple play. Just with the triple play. No LED lights in it. Just triple play. So it can work with it. If you're one of those people who are struggling to get a couple funds in, then you can make this happen until you get your funds. How it's going to affect the lights, I don't necessarily know.